They're going to have short little sprints. Try and get, I think, as many classes in as possible. Somebody's coming into the pits there, one of the supercars. I will pick up a number shortly. Unfortunately, we could have ourselves a situation over here where some of the supercars go out, or some of the cars go out. It's number 21. That's Craig Hume that's in the pits. There is Jaco Oosthuizen in the Toyota. And then Natasha Tischendorf coming into position in that VW Jetta. I see joining them as well is going to be Roger Lewis in the MGA. Didn't see his name initially up here, but there's that number 27 Bradley Rowe BMW 2002. 6 laps, they'll be reminded there that it will only be a 6-lap race for the supercars and fine cars. And they'll be taken around by the safety car, the Renault Triber, for a warm-up lap. All ready and waiting over here. The Greymo car on pole position. Jet Master car second. RBK Products 31. That is Carl Halleck. And a WD-40 car. Of course, the WD-40 car will get you out of a stick. I can tell you that much. And that will be Van der Merwe. That will be behind the wheel of that 2-liter Opel-powered rear-wheel drive machine. So 5 supercars and 5 fine cars, looks like it's 10 cars altogether.
Yeah, with 6 laps. A big thanks to Wingfield Motors. Big thanks to Pertamina Fostron. Big thanks to Porsche Club, Interceptor Shoewear, King Tony Tools, Master Drive, and then Smile 90.4 FM, the media partner of the Western Province Motor Club. So yes, the Renault Triber will take them around. A big thanks to the Drizzard Company for the Drizzard Environmental Services for the dust that they put down. Afritech, that also helps us out with the generators. Hyundai Milnerton for the shuttle that takes the spectators around from the pit area to about turn 2, I think it is. They go all that way around, then back again. So a big thanks to those people that are involved, and the class sponsors and everybody else. So the Renault Triber, Byron, leads the field of supercars and fine cars through Interceptor Corner.
I was just taking a look now at the fine cars, Frankie. It looked quite treacherous already on the warm-up lap for some of them. I saw going very wide into turn 2 was that Toyota Conquest of Oosthuizen. Yeah, they come now through Interceptor Corner turn 3. You'll see that the fire cars and support vehicles will be behind them. They'll try and generate as much heat as they possibly can into these tires. But remember, they will not generate nearly enough for the first corner. So what happens is they'll have to be very cautious once the lights go out and they go into turn 1. Luckily, it's not a standing start, so they don't stand there with the tires cooling down. They can retain a little bit of heat in those tires as the lights go out.
So the Kaltron Formula Supercars working their way down the back straight together with the Bejo Trustees fine cars, heading down the back straight towards turn 5, Pertamina Fostron, as they make their way towards Fostron Corner. 6 laps of racing it will be, and the safety car, the Renault Triber, will pull off, and then it will be in the hands of the man that sits there in pole, and that will be Andrew Moffat.
Well, Frankie, here they come around turn 5 now. There come the supercars. That Triber will do shot right and will be going racing.
Yeah, it'll make a sharp right there. It moves off the circuit. I think Phil Herald is the man that's behind the wheel of the safety car, the Renault Triber. Here they come down towards us. The light on pit lane is on. The lights go off now, and away they go as they drop the hammers and run it down into turn number 1. Now remember that these supercars are on slick tires as they work their way into turn 1, and Byron, the fine cars, off the line.
fine cars off the line. I didn't take a look at what tires they were on, Frankie, but most of them drive to the circuit.
Probably road-going tires.
Road-going tires, yes, that is correct. They will be on, so they will have quite an advantage over the cars ahead of them. But remember, it's two different classes. They're going to be moving now into turn 2 now. And Oosthuizen has taken the lead of this race ahead of the former champion, Robert Toscano. The BMW of Bradley Rowe is up into 3rd position.
So, as the supercars are now working their way through turn 3 Interceptor corner, I can tell you that Moffat has lost that lead. He sits in 3rd. Glenn Phillips is in that 2nd position. Remember that Moffat was the man that was in pole position. And it might just be Michael Nell that leads them down the back straight. Down the back main they come now, working their way down the back straight. Yes, it is indeed. It's the 12 car. And that is Michael Nell that leads them down the back main. He took the lead coming out of turn number 2 already. And Nell leads this whole pack of supercars and fine cars into Fostron turn 5.
Remember, a 6-lap race, a very short sprint, and they're coming to the end now of the first of those 6 laps. Going back to the fine cars, Jaco Oosthuizen started on pole, leads the way from Robert Toscano. Natasha Tischendorf back into 4th position right now. Roger Lewis will round everything off as they come across the line now. The first of these supercars, Michael Nell leading the way.
Michael Nell with Glenn Phillips, then it's Andrew Moffat. Then we have a bit of a gap. And Carl Halleck coming towards us, and he's been overtaken here by the conquest of Jaco Oosthuizen. And then it is Robbie Toscano coming through, so we've lost a couple of supercars. Then it is Rowe that's making his way towards us. That's Bradley Rowe. And then behind him is Natasha Tischendorf. So, yeah, that has turned itself upside down ever so slightly. Then we've got a supercar coming towards us. That is Karel van der Merwe. So, yeah, we've had a bit of a situation out there. Van der Merwe did spin the car. So, Byron, yes, the fine cars right in between the supercars now.
Well, as far as things are concerned, Frankie, I was just wondering if Carl Halleck does have some sort of a problem, or it just is a tyre advantage as far as the fine cars are concerned. Remember, we were talking, they are most likely on fully treaded road tyres, which are ideal for these conditions compared to a semi-slick or a full-on slick.
Yeah, to my knowledge, they run full slick tyres on these supercars. So with a track that is still pretty wet out there, and 100% cloud cover, so there's no sun coming through at all that can assist with the drying of the circuit. And so, yeah, there's a yellow flag, Byron, I see in turn 2 when marshals are running. BMW. It is the BMW that is spun there on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, Bradley Rowe, as I've been told by Francois over here, the son of Robert Rowe, and he's stuck on the exit of turn 2 and into the kink. There goes Roger Lewis right past him. He will gain a place, Roger Lewis. But the man who's leading at the moment, Michael Nell, a 142.289. And what I was mentioning earlier on, Frankie, remember we were talking about sunshine and wind. These trees are absolutely still. There's no wind whatsoever to dry the circuit out.
And 100% cloud cover as well. So there's no sun coming through to assist, and with hardly any wind, it's going to be very difficult for this track to dry out. Right, let's have a look-see. Going into turn 3 right now is a class and overall leader. That is the supercar of Michael Nell, making his way out of turn number 3. Then in second place, coming out of Interceptor corner now, we have got Glenn Phillips, and right behind Phillips we have got Andrew Moffat. So those are the 3 supercars as they work their way through saddle sweep. That's turn number 4. And then going into turn 3 Interceptor corner now is the leader of the fine cars, Byron, and that's a conquest of Jaco Oosthuizen.
Having a fine drive, Jaco Oosthuizen, and he's actually 4th overall, Frankie. Remember, they're 2 cars now ahead of Carl Halleck. Robert Toscano has made his way past the Opel Supercar. So Toscano in the MX-5, if I look, he's 8.6 seconds off of Jaco Oosthuizen at the moment. He just has to keep it on the tarmac.
Well, I got information here from Tiny saying that the supercars run on cut slicks if the weather conditions are as they are. Obviously full slicks if it's dry. So talking about supercars, the supercar leader is making his way out of turn number 1, and right in there behind him, well, quite some distance behind him, is Glenn Phillips and Andrew Moffat. They sit second and third in class and overall as they work their way out of turn 1, Holzhoek.
Well, 3 laps left to go, Frankie, and a backwards into turn 2 onto the apron. It's Carl Nell. Luckily, he gets going again, and he will keep his position. And let me just see where he is at the moment. First, yeah, he looks like he's going to keep ahead of Glenn Phillips. Yeah,
he sits in P1 as they go into interceptor corner, so he never lost his lead. What has happened is that Glenn Phillips and Andrew Moffat in P2 and 3 have got a lot closer to him now as they work their way up the Tygerberg Straight towards Sarel van der Merwe sweep, the double right-hander, turn 4.
Yeah, my apologies, everybody. Michael Nell, not Carl Nell. Got a bit confused over there. Yes, luckily, he had an 8.5 second buffer there, Frankie, so he could actually get into the race again and keep that lead ahead of Glenn Phillips. Meanwhile, Carl van der Merwe, he's crossed the line in his supercar. Here comes Natasha Tischendorf now. The number 2 car, the Jetta, in 8th position, and then rounding everything off will be Roger Lewis in that MGA. Remember, very brave out there in an open top.
And heading towards turn 4 now, all on his own, is your overall leader for the fine cars. That is Jaco Oosthuizen. We might just pick him up going down the back straight. He's going to put a lap on the row BMW. So he's all on his ace. And he is the man that leads the fine cars and no other fine cars around him to be able to play with as he makes his way into turn 5. All on his own into Fastron corner.
I'm glad Robert Rowe got back into the race. I thought his race had been run, Frankie. He's going down towards turn 5, but it's all to see now. Is he going to continue just for the heck of it, or is he going to pull it into pit lane? We'll find out shortly. Meanwhile, going past pit lane, the entrance of pit lane, is Jaco Oosthuizen, who will cross the line and start another lap. 2 laps left to go as far as things are concerned in these shortened races.
Right, heading into turn 5 now, there are 2 supercars that's working their way out of turn 5, and one is Carl van der Merwe coming out of Fastron corner, and Kyle Halleck is the other one, and those 2 supercars are coming down towards us. Here they come under the City of Cape Town Bridge, and van der Merwe has got a sizable lead there on Kyle Halleck as the 2 of them work their way into Holzhoek. That is turn 1. Carl Halleck coming past us very, very slow indeed. As obviously, be it slick or cut slicks, either way, it'll be very difficult for these supercars to keep it on the tarmac. As the leaders are working their way now into turn 5, into Fastron corner.
Natasha Tischendorf will cross the line. That will be 3rd in class, and well, 21.3 seconds off of Carl Halleck in the overall standings. And coming through right here now is Michael now to complete his penultimate lap and start his last lap with a 1:40.550, his best time.
Yeah, 1:40.550 by Carl now. He's making his way out of turn number 1 and heading into turn number 1. Holzhoek now is Glenn Phillips and Andrew Moffat. They sit 2nd and 3rd overall, working their way out of turn number 1. Then there's a massive, massive gap, Byron, before we see the fine car leader, Jaco Oosthuizen, working his way out of turn 5, out of Fastron corner.
Yeah, Jaco Oosthuizen, who leads the fine car section, started on pole and is on course for his first victory in the fine car section. In the Toyota Conquest, he flashes the lights. Oh, not quite yet. He can't quite celebrate yet, let me tell you that much. And the checkered flag is yet to come out. That will come for Michael now fairly shortly. And I'll see where Michael now is shortly. But it is going to be Roger Lewis that will round everything off here. And that will be in the fine cars.
So Michael now is making his way down the back straight. That is your overall leader. This is the flag lap. The checkered flag has been readied here on the start-finish line. This is the last lap as Michael now heads into turn number 5 into a Fastron corner. And the checkered flag is being held up here for him as he works his way out of turn 5 out of Fastron. There's a couple of back markers ahead of him, but they won't come into play. And it is Michael now that comes home first across the line. Well done there to Michael in trying conditions out there. Tischendorf will finish her race, and then here comes second and third overall in the Supercars across the line. Glenn Phillips gets to the line just ahead there of Andrew Moffat.
Yeah, Jaco Oosthuizen will then come along now to take a victory in the fine cars section. Last time around, 22.7 seconds ahead of Robert Toscano. There goes that Black Conquest down towards turn 5. Pertamina fast run right now. I see the cameras on the exit briefly over there, but you'll see now that car will come through turn 5 and run it down to the line, and he's probably extended his advantage over Toscano's Mazda. That will be second but fifth overall in the grand scheme of things. Here he comes now towards the Wingfield Motors and City of Cape Town Bridge. Now you can flash the lights, my friend. Take the win. Nicely done from Jaco Oosthuizen.
Yeah, Jaco wins the fine car category. And then coming out of turn number 5, or working his way out of turn 5 now, will be the Mazda MX-5. That will be Robert Toscano. But ahead of him, you've got the supercar of Karel van der Merwe that finishes his race. And then it is the Mazda MX-5 of Robbie Toscano that finishes his race.
7th position. Here comes Carl Hellick.
Yep.
That will make his way through now and take the position ahead. First, Roger Lewis here will finish a lap down in 9th position in the MGA. Takes it to the line, gives us a nice wave over there. Nice one, Roger. And then here comes Carl Hellick in 7th.
Yeah, Hellick finishes his race. So from a supercar point of view, Nel Phillips and Moffat, first, second, and third. Van der Merwe will be 4th. Hellick will be in that 5th position, and that will be the only supercars, as Craig Hume did not make it out onto the circuit.
Just trying to look for that 2002 BMW there, Frankie, of Bradley Road, to see if he kept it out there. The little BMW that could.
Yeah. Remember that JB Pretorius also used to campaign in a BMW like that as well a couple of years ago, and he is the chairman of the fine car section.
And he raced that car for 20 years as well. He got an award for having raced that car for over 20 years. It's very rare that you get a one-man and one-car combination for that amount of time. So it's great to see JB still very much involved from an administrative point of view in the fine cars. And
got an MSA award. I think it was last month, if I'm not mistaken, a MSA award. From the fine cars, there's Jaco Oosthuizen P1, Robert Toscano finishing in 2nd, and 3rd was Natasha Tischendorf. So that rounds up the Kaltron Formula Supercars and the Bejo Trustees